I'm Shea Burk, and we're here with horsewoman extraordinaire Wylene Wilson at the Los Vaqueros Arena. Wylene, why don't you tell me a little bit about why you're here at Los Vaqueros today?
Actually here to do a clinic, a little bit of everything from colt starting to building confidence, dealing with people who have horses that know nothing and dealing with people who have finished horses. So right in the middle of confidence building, you can hear a lot going on behind us. Just did an extreme cowboy racing course. Just started working on building people's, a lot of people have fear when they ride horses. And so it's my job to teach people how to have fun with horses and the reality behind riding horses, that things can go bad and can go wrong. So what to do when that happens. So that's what I teach, is confidence building with horses and riders, and teaching people to have fun with their horses as well.
So why did Los Vaqueros choose you to do this clinic?
Well, I'm friends with Steve Robbins, and he was one that mentioned, hey, I think if you come up, you could really have some people that would really use your help. We've got a lot of people that ride, and he goes, it's gorgeous weather. I'm from Arizona, so it's nice to get out of the sun and out of the heat. And so he just said, I think we should just put it together. Maybe you could come up and get some horses rode and make a little extra money and do some fun and actually build a reputation up here. So I said, sure, I'm all for it.
Speaking of that, I hear you have a pretty big movie coming up here soon. Tell me about the movie and what your role in the movie is. What are you doing in the movie?
Yeah, it's great. I'm really excited about it. It is actually a documentary, which is a film that displays the 9 lives of different Mustang trainers in the journey of training a wild Mustang in 100 days. Everything from the very first day all the way until the show, and then the auction afterwards, and then where the horses go after that. So it's really exciting. It's very heartwarming and very heartfelt, but at the same time it makes you happy and it makes you, cheer for triumph with what happens in these people's lives as they go through this journey, because it is not easy, training a wild horse. And so lots of different personalities, and it'll make you laugh and cry, and I highly recommend seeing it. So we're actually going to be in LA and on the 31st of August. We'll be in New York the 24th of August this year. So really looking forward to it releasing and hitting the shelves this fall.
With Mustangs, I hear you have some of the Mustangs that you're training for this here at Los Vaqueros.
Yes, there are actually 2 with me, myself included with Marissa Rogers. We both have one that are going to Fort Worth, Texas in September. We've had them about 30 days so far, and we're doing everything that all these other horses are doing in the clinic. And in fact, we had several other people riding them yesterday. So we've come a long way with them in a very short amount of time. And I think that just goes along with what it is I train and teach, and doing my extreme methods and having fun with my horses and not being afraid to push horses a little bit and pressure them and ask them to do things you normally wouldn't ask a horse to do. You'd be surprised what you can get away with. And so I like to kind of throw that on people and teach them that it's okay to try something new. And I think people will learn that if they spend a little time with me. So
what got you to this point? Have you always ridden horses? You've always been as a kid?
Yeah, I was born and raised around horses. I started competing when I was 6 years old. By the time I was 12, I competed at a national level, and then by the time I was 16, I went to a world championship level. So I competed at a very high level of competition. So I've always loved competing. But I never stood out separately. You know what I'm saying? I needed something that would promote who I was and showcase my ability. And through the Mustang Heritage Foundation and through the Mustang Makeover, that was one way I found. Also the extreme cowboy races, because not just anybody can do those things, especially training wild horses. So it was just something that I fit into that niche, and it was something I was very comfortable with. Met a lot of great people, have had so much fun. Currently today, I've trained, this is my 10th Mustang for the Mustang Makeover. So I've just had such a blast with it, learned so much, grown so much, and have continued my education with horses and met a lot of amazing people like yourself and others here in Big Bear. So it's just been fun, really fun.
So in your personal opinion, a lot of people say the Mustangs are crazy, bad horses. In your personal opinion, is there a bad horse?
Well, I'm not going to say that there's not. I mean, obviously there can be some bad eggs out there, yes. But I think if you know what you're doing, you have the correct knowledge and the correct skill, and you also have the correct equipment. That's a big thing I talked about yesterday. You can do a lot with a horse that is a troubled horse. All my Mustangs I've had have just been incredible animals. They have literally blown my mind with what they can do. And just because they're considered a rogue horse, or they're tainted because they were wild, they actually do more things than most domestic horses I have do. So I trust them, they trust me. We work a lot on just everyday simple things, and they're the first one to say, yep, I'll do it. most domestic horses are kind of spoiled and everything's handed to them. A wild horse has had to survive in the wild by themselves. And so they know what it's like to starve, and they know what it's like to not find water. So they appreciate everything. So that's why I like wild horses, because they will give you their heart and soul if they trust you. And that's what is so cool about the competition is you'll see so many different walks of life and different horses. And it is just neat to see what people do in 100 days.
This morning I got some footage of something great. I've never seen it before, laying a horse down. What is that about? To you, what is that about?
Well, there's something I'm very passionate about. I know it can be a controversial topic, but I just promote it all the time, because to me, when you can lay a horse down, you can teach them patience, respect, and trust. And without those three things, it's a lot harder to train them and teach them. So I would much rather have a horse I know could do it, because then I know I can get to the base of that brain. And the faster I can get there, the faster they can learn. And I want them to trust me, because I want to be able to say, hey, look here, we're going to go here, we're going to try this, we're going to cross this tarp, we're going to get in that water, we're going to jump into the back of this truck, we're going to go here. Whatever it is, I know they'll look at me and go, you know what, I trust you, you're not going to hurt me. And the lay down is the fastest way to teach that. And not just that, but when a horse gets into a really bad situation, it's interesting to see what happens when a horse gets stuck. And this is a way to teach them to not react, but to think. Just think calmly, and to just slow everything down and be calm instead of flailing and thrashing and being wild. It just teaches them how to think and how to be patient. So the main thing is teaches patience.
So what now? What are you going to do after you leave Vaqueros? Where are you going to finish your Mustangs? What do you do?
Mustangs will go with me on the road. I'm on my way. I actually leave today. I'll be in Arizona tomorrow, be in Texas on Wednesday, fly back home to Arizona, on my way up to Bend, Oregon for another clinic I'm doing there for a full week. Then I come home, I turn around, grab my horses. We're going to drive to Utah. I have a 10-day long clinic there. And then from there, I'm going to Arkansas for the full month of July and into August. So I'm pretty busy. I've got a pretty busy schedule. But a lot of it's doing clinics and also training other horses along the way. And I'm really excited about the Mustang Makeover, obviously, that's coming up in Fort Worth. There's a lot of money to be won at this one. You know, there's $250,000 in the whole show. My division, which is the Legends division, is $50,000 to win first place. So it's a lot of money. So, and these are our horses. We own them. We bought them before the show even started. The auction, you know, the auction was before the show. So we own these animals. So it's really nice because we don't have to give them up at the end. So it's fun.
Well, I know on behalf of Los Vaqueros and everyone up here, it was great to have you here.
Thank you.
We're all lucky that you took time out of your busy schedule.
I'd love to be back. Yeah, I had a great time.
Everyone out there can come here next year and see her and do the lay down and everything else next year.
Yep, some extreme Wylene stuff for sure. Yeah, definitely. If you want to be pushed out of your comfort zone, this is the place to be, because it's a little bit of a boot camp. Because I'm not going to let you make an excuse for your horse or for yourself. Obviously, a couple of us have learned that that's true with me, that I'm going to push you, because the only way you'll get better on your horse is to ride with people who are better than you. So I just hope everybody rides a happy horse, and that's something that I want. And if a horse is confused or a rider's confused, they're not happy. So it's our job to make both equally happy.
Well, then I think you heard it here. She's going to be here next year, so make sure you come out next year and join this clinic.